Okay, welcome back. Technical issues, hopefully, are now in the rear-view mirror. Although we're getting drop frame rates again, so let's see. We'll see if this works. This is our. The internet may be failing us today, but we'll see. So, hopefully, you have at least an audio feed going on right now. 0-1 the count to Jack Johnson. Here's the pitch, up and in. Ball 1. This is when I take a look on my handy-dandy phone and see. Looks like, yeah, we're good. I think we're back. I think this is going to work. Let's let some people trickle back in before we talk about the pitch clock. Maybe we'll never talk. Maybe the pitch clock is tomorrow's conversation.
It's not meant to be. Clearly.
It's not. No, I think baseball's saying there's no pitch clock in this stadium. I don't know why you're talking about the pitch clock.
I was talking about it during the connection issues. There's no pitch clock in this league, obviously, but it feels. Oh,
strike three.
It certainly feels as though they play at a pace that personifies pitch clock.
I completely agree. Jack Johnson takes a call at strike 3 for out number 2. Here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, our scorebug a little behind as I'm chasing internet gremlins. I completely agree, and I don't know the rules in the local leagues, or college leagues. Maybe some people in the booth can help me out with this, but do we know if there is a pitch clock in college baseball?
Yes, there is.
There is a pitch clock in college baseball, I've been told. So there's a good chance that these players are used to the pitch clock.
I was going to say, I feel like even if they're not used to it, they know that if they're going to move on with their career, that it's going to be something they got to get used to. Oh my!
Hot shot into the Honkers dugout.
Everybody okay down there?
Looks like everyone's going to be okay, which is what we want to see.
That thing found the gate and it snuck through, right into the opposing dugout.
Always a bit scary to see one of those foul balls get through, and that ball swung on and missed for strike 3. Merchants go in order. And offense, hard to find so far for Everett. We head to the top of the 6th inning, 3-0 Honkers. First pitch in the top of the 6th inning is a swing and a miss. Hiroaki Yonakura, second baseman for the Northwest Honkers, leading off in the bottom or the top of the 6th against starter Ryder Vane. This ball fouled away quickly, 0-2. CJ Blowers, by the way, was the starter or was the relief pitcher in for Mason Heimer in the 5th inning, son of Mariners broadcaster Mike Blowers. We are, I'd say, 90% confident in that statement.
There was some pretty intense research during the break right there, trying to figure out if that was Mariners broadcaster Mike Blowers' son. Appears as though it was.
1-2 the counts. We've had a few sons of former MLB players or MLB broadcasters in the stands before, or in our games. So always good to see some connections to the big leagues. 1-2. Vane comes home. It's a line ball, but playable for Zaya Aklis. He comes in, makes the play in shallow left center field for out number 1. Okay, we have good internet now. It is now time.
The big reveal. So from what I've heard, it sounds like the first part of the whole monologue got caught on camera, and the second part wasn't. So
I'm 90% sure
I'll go ahead
true.
and spark note this before we lose internet again. So my take on the pitch clock, right? It is good. It is real change. The games are shorter.
Line shot, fouled. Ooh, boy, that was close.
Wow, that was close.
0-1. I'm not so sure, but the Merchants will take it.
Ump was a lot closer than I was. But no, but anyway, I mean, I feel like the pitch clock, it speeds up the game. It doesn't take away from any of the action, right? It's all the same action. It only just takes away from the dead time, right? Mm-hmm. And as much as we like a little bit of suspense, that suspense still exists. When I watch a baseball game in person, or when I watch a baseball game on TV, I still feel that suspense in the late innings. Ultimately, like, when there's runners on base, when the game is close. So I don't feel like any of the value of the game of baseball has been...
Hot shot off the pitch, off the foot of Ryder Vane. It's a base hit in center field.
That darn near just about clipped him.
And I think you're right. I think it was just off the mound, not off of his foot. It looks like he might have been in a little bit of pain, but I must probably just frustrated with himself, giving up another base hit. And a one-out base runner for the Northwest Honkers brings up Hayden Matre. 1 for 1 with a pair of RBIs and a sacrifice fly.
So it begs the question, obviously, I'm a proponent of the pitch clock, what it brings to the game. You feel the same way about it?
So, I have to, as a good move to first base, in time for the out. Ryder Vane has been quick to first all game, and he finally gets the out. Another great defensive play. 1-3, caught stealing, goes the out. And there's 2 away in the top of the 6th. And I'm convinced this game doesn't want us to talk about the pitch clock. This is where I have to admit that I was wrong. I was convinced that the pitch clock was going to completely change the game in a negative way. It was going to make it much harder to pitch. It was going to make offense explode in an unnatural way. That hasn't happened. It's been basically the same product, but faster and easier to consume. Offense might have increased a little bit. I think you can argue whether that's the shift or the pitch clock.
I think the
things
shift
like
would
that.
have more to do with that than the pitch clock.
I tend to agree. I think there's been a couple of relievers that have been rattled and had to throw a ball, and that's gotten them in trouble.
I was there on Mariners opening night when Karinchak had the pitch clock violation, and the whole stadium was screaming at him.
That was
and
cool.
Ty France ended up hitting that go-ahead 3-run home run. So maybe there, but I think it's been more minimal than anything.
I agree. I think that strike 3 called. We'll have to wait for my thoughts in the bottom half of the frames. 1-2-3 after a caught stealing. Ryder Vane threw 6, but he's down 3-0.
This game is...
Welcome back. Bottom of the 6th inning. Merchants looking for some offense. Only 2 hits through 5 innings. 2-3-4 due up. Braden Lundberg 1 for 2 with a fielder's choice. Stranded both times he reached. But he popped it up past the glove. Going to be a barehand play. Can't make the play. Infield single for Braden Lundberg. And just what the doctors ordered. Base hit for Lundberg. Leadoff man aboard for Aaron Barber.
I doubt that he was trying to pop up that much, but boy, he placed that thing perfectly.
He did. Any further, and it's fielded pretty easily by Gonzalez.
Either the third baseman or the pitcher. Somebody was going to have a play if that ball found any other real estate.
Barber, climbing in. Batting average not as good as some of his teammates, although part of that is a game that hasn't been scored yet to start the year, where I believe he had 3 hits in the opener. But one of the best players in terms of plate discipline on this roster. He has multiple walks in all of the home games to this point, if I'm not mistaken. So we were discussing the pitch clock, and I largely agree that it is largely a benefit so far. I worry a little bit about, and I would like to hear your opinion on this as well, about the how it will affect the game when we make it to the postseason. As a line shot foul, 1 and 2. Do we care about the length of games when we get to the playoffs? Is that still a concern for Major League Baseball? Because I understand 162 games. You're going to a game on a random Wednesday that doesn't really matter that much, so we don't want to be there till 11 o'clock at night. I get that. But when it's game 4 of the divisional series, Dodgers-Giants, do any of those people really want to get home? Or do they want to watch this? Or do they want to watch everyone at their absolute best, taking their time,
I think if the game is in Dodger Stadium, you want it to be as long as possible because those fans tend to not show up till the 4th or 5th inning anyway.
That's a good point.
That's not to take a shot at LA fans. My dad grew up in LA, so
hey,
it's all out of love.
We gotta take. You can take. It's fun to take shots at the LA fans every once in a while.
The 100 people that are listening are clearly all from LA.
Yeah. Yackley to second. That's the only out. Fielder's choice will replace Lundberg with Barber.
I think to answer that question, playoff games have always naturally been longer than regular season games. Pitch clock or no pitch clock, that's always been the case. So, because I think you want to really maximize every single opportunity. You want to make sure that you have the correct pitcher and the correct hitter in every situation. So you see a lot more changes. I think the games are going to be longer regardless. I think the average game is going to go from 2.5 hours to maybe 3 hours. Mm-hmm. And I think at that point, especially because fans will have consumed so much baseball in the pitch clock era, I don't really see a need to change it. I mean, if you really wanted to go 20 seconds, 25 seconds, I would understand that and wouldn't be wholly opposed to it. But I don't really think that's a change you have to make, even though it's one you probably could adjust slightly.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think there's going to be...
Man.
Wow, another ball over down the first base line. I generally agree. It's a change that doesn't need to be made. I would like to see it in some aspect. I think that some of my best postseason baseball memories, excluding last year's postseason, as that was the first Mariners playoff game that my conscious memory.
That left some fun memories.
Those were some great games.
Some not fun ones too.
Oh man. We'll have to talk about that a little bit maybe in the next inning. But some of my most earliest playoff baseball memories are super high leverage moments late in the game. A reliever comes in, there's 2 pitching changes in the same inning. It's 35 seconds between pitches, and I loved it. I remember getting ready to film or record an episode of Bonus Baseball and watching, I think it was Dodgers Cardinals, I want to say. And that...
I feel like if you were going to take a random guess, Dodgers Cardinals is probably
pretty good one. Well, we were sitting in Logan's apartment. I want to say we got there middle of the 7th, something like that. It was a regulation game. And we watched an hour's worth of baseball for an inning and a half. And it was the playoffs. And, of course, and a diving play. What a catch by Paganelli in right field. For out number 2, defense on a premium tonight.
We have seen some spectacular plays out in the outfield. I was promised infield defense, and the outfield defense has been the star of the show today.
Absolutely. Aiden Van Rinsum climbing in. with 2 away, looking to make something happen here. In short, obviously, we are a very select portion of the population who would watch a baseball game if it took 5 hours every night.
We are in the top 2%.
Yes. However, big swing and miss. What a breaking ball. I don't know that the pace of play is an issue in the postseason. I think that we could get rid of the pitch clock in the playoffs and it would be okay. But I understand that they probably won't. And there's an argument to be made, and that ball gets away past ball.
Way down there.
And the runner to second base, and that, man, he might have been able to keep running, but that would have been a risky play. So now runner in scoring position, and Van Rinsum can get a run back with a base hit. In short, I think that you could get rid of the pitch clock in the playoffs, and it would not affect viewership or enjoyment of the game or anything like that. But I understand if they want to keep it.
I said this out of pure enjoyment. I like that you said in short in a discussion that managed to take, I believe, three innings
yeah.
out of, due to technical difficulties.
And this is a local. I think. Ooh, tough strike call. 1 and 2. I think that this is a more local thing. I don't know if other teams have made this change too. An unsung hero this year for people who want to watch Mariners games who don't live in Seattle on a weekday is the 6:40 first pitch time. Moving the first pitch from 7:10 to 6:40. Best move the Mariners have made.
That was last year they started that.
Was it last year?
Yep.
Okay. Because I've been to 2 weekday game or 1 weekday game and 1 weekend game, and that is. You can still get down because I'm up in Oak Harbor, so it's about a 2-hour drive, 45-minute drive to the stadium. I can get off work when school gets out and drive down, take the light rail, and get to the gate 30 minutes before first pitch, and then get home in time that I'm not completely dead the next morning. It's amazing.
I recently have made the move to Everett, Washington. I live actually pretty close to the stadium that we're broadcasting.
Swinging
I'll
and
hold that
miss.
thought.
Van Rinsum strikes out swinging, and Merchant stranded another runner. We head to the top of the 7th inning. Everett scoreless through 6 rather.
I didn't.
Welcome back. Top of the 7th inning, Cameron Perjone leading things off. Not sure exactly how far we got in that conversation about moving the first pitch time, but man, 6:40 first pitches plus the pitch clock.
I was gonna say it's a 1-2
unbelievable.
punch. When the game starts a half an hour earlier and the game is a half an hour shorter, I was used to getting back from Mariner games around it'd be 12:30, and sometimes now it's you get a short one, it's 10:30, it's maybe
wonderful.
11 o'clock, and you're back home.
I went to a baseball game, the 1-0 in 10 innings game against the New York Yankees a couple weeks ago. A friend of mine met me there from Portland, so long drive for him. On a day he had to go to work the next day, and the game started at 6:40. It was an extra innings game. We were at the light rail station, heading back to our cars at 9:20.
It's unbelievable.
It was incredible.
I as I mentioned previously, I was at opening night, and that was the night where it was 0-0 until the 3-run home run in the 8th inning. Luis Castillo allowed 1 hit in 6 innings. I mean, there was just no offense in that game. And I want to say that game was 2 hours, 5 minutes or something like that.
It was unbelievable.
I was out of the stadium by 9 o'clock.
Yep. I went 2-2 on Cameron Padron, by the way. Ryder Vane back out 80 pitches. This will be his 81st. 50 strikes.
And
Pitch it low and away.
To be fair, I have no. It's not like I'm looking for a 2-hour game.
No.
Because of course I went back the next day. The Mariners lost 9-4, and it was a 3-hour 15-minute game. Yeah, you still get those every once in a while.
Yeah, I've been to 2 games this year, both extra inning games actually, and both were under 3 innings or 3 hours. It was great. The first one might have been like 3:01. It was the extra innings game against the Guardians, like the first homestand of the year.
Yeah.
That one got a little bit long, but that was a great game.
I was at the one this most recent Saturday against the White Sox where the Mariners lost in 11 innings, and that game was 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I was talking about it with my friend. We're convinced that was probably the longest game of the season to this point.
It probably was. Mariners haven't gone super deep in extras yet. So this ball is a little flare shot over Lundberg's head into left field for a base hit. Misplayed. There's going to be a play at second base. The throw. Barber, the tag. He's out. Out advancing is Adam Paganelli. 7 for the putout. What a play in left. After the bobble, Fisher redeeming himself to gun out the runner and keep the base paths empty with 2 away.
It was a great throw. I feel like the real takeaway from that play for me, though, is that it is really hard to slide gracefully on turf.
It is, especially if it's a little bit wet.
It almost worked for him. I mean, that's a tough play to make when the guy's rolling around out there. Honestly. Did kind of look like an offensive lineman.
Ball bounces away, 1-0. Jack Fitton warming up. For your Merchants, he'll likely pitch the 7th, or the 8th rather, as Vane into the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. It's a called strike. I believe this is the longest outing of a Merchant pitcher so far this season. Don't quote me.
Done a great job settling down. We had talked about it a little bit before. 24 pitches in the first inning, and the fact that he's here pitching in the 7th right now on a reduced pitch count is really impressive.
He has his largest inning in terms of pitch count since the first was 14 in the 3rd. He's been between 6 and 12 pitches in every other inning. That's a tough call, a little bit low. 2-2 with 2 away.
Of course, they are helped by the fact that the Honkers have had a very aggressive approach at the plate, which more or less has paid off for them. Obviously, they're up 3-0 here, but it's been very efficient for the pitcher on the Merchant side.
As agreed. Routine ground ball, Lundberg to Heron for out number 3. Merchants need to get something going here. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning, 3-0 Honkers. Welcome back. Pinch hitter for the Merchants' first move of the game, and it's one we've been expecting. Jonas Scholl climbing in. Speed demon and swinging a hot piece of lumber right now, looking to spark something here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ball called, a strike on the outside corner, 0-1 as C.J. Blowers continues his work here in the bottom of the 7th.
Blowers is working at a really quick pace right now.
Oh, jeez.
Ball hit well to right center field over, and making the play is Paganelli for out number 1. Gunnar Shotani climbs in, catcher for the Everett Merchants, looking to spark something as Everett being shut out for the first time this season if this result were to stand.
It's been kind of the theme right now. And, everybody that comes up, can they provide a spark? Can they do something? Because they're hitting some balls hard right now. They're not finding any real estate out in the field.
Ball in, 1-0. Merchants on the season, 4-1 in PIL play. Their worst offensive output is this ball poked into left field for a base hit. 1-out base runner Shotani will bring up Kai Alberghini. And now you're wondering if maybe you should have kept Jonah Scholl on the bench and pinch run for him in this situation. Worst offensive output to this point was a 3-2 win against the Gumbaroos back on Wednesday the 14th. Alberghini climbs in 0-for-2 with a strikeout. Jacob, you will quickly learn to appreciate the names of some of the teams in the Pacific International League.
I was going to say, so could I get a walkthrough of that last one you just said?
Absolutely can after this pitch. And Alberghini stings one into left field. It's a base hit. Everyone's going to move up a station. Runners on first and second for Jack Johnson. So, you've got your Everett Merchants and Northwest Honkers, pretty standard names.
I don't know about the Northwest Honkers.
Yeah, Honkers gets a little, yeah, that's fair. Blackfinch is a standard name. Then you get to the Redmond Dudes, okay? That's a summer league name if I've ever heard one. Followed up by the classic powerhouse of a program in the Seattle Cheney Studs. Is that ball? Ooh, that one had a chance to get in the booth.
Landed right in front of us. Off the ricochet right there.
Jack Johnson fouls the first pitch off. It's 0-1. So Seattle Cheney Studs, you gotta love it. It's a powerhouse dynasty of a team in the PIL, so you have to respect that franchise. Followed up by this team used to be known as the Highline Bears. That ball hit to right field rather. Paganelli backing up, runner tags, and I think he might have left early, so that was a smart play to go back 2 away. We'll bring up leadoff man Zaya Ackles. Then you get to the 6th place team in the league as things stand. This team was known, as longtime viewers may know, this team used to be the Highline Bears out of White Center. After hiring an advertising firm to help them get more people out to the ballpark, they've rebranded themselves the Dub C Fish Sticks. So,
see, that's the team that I'm the most familiar with. Obviously, a mutual friend of ours broadcasted some games for the Highline Bears back in the day, so I did get to attend a couple of those. And I do remember when he sent me the name choices, and I thought, are they really going to name the team the Dub C Fish Sticks?
Yeah, the other option was, I don't remember what the location was, but it was the Seal Slingers.
Yeah.
Which was another, very summer league names. Like, this is minor league, Trash Panda level names, which are entertaining. I like it. It's fun. And then to round it out, after this pitch, 0-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. That will retire the side. Merchants ran a pair. And final team in the PIL, no location. It's just the Gumbaroos.
Why would you need a location with a name
With
like
a name
that?
like that, you don't need a location. We'll be back in the top of the 8th inning. Merchants trailing 3-0. Welcome back. Top of the 8th inning. Merchants trail 3-0 as Ryder Vane still in the game here in the top of the 8th inning. First Merchant starter to make it to the 8th. This ball is a squibber, but it was off his foot, says the home plate umpire. Kendall Yackley fouling that one away. 0-1. Yackley 0 for 2 tonight. Jack Fitton warming up, or rather, that is Aiden Van Rinsum warming up in the bullpen. So the designated hitter for the Merchants will likely get to pitch the 9th regardless of the scoreline. 6 more outs for the Merchants to pick up 3 or more runs. Looking to stay perfect at home this season. 0-1. Thrown away. That was pitch 90 for Ryder Vane. 56 strikes. He's pitched well. Given up some base runners and a few runs early, but has settled down.
I think the early offensive explosion by the Honkers has kind of overshadowed how well he has pitched.
Lundberg camps under it and makes the play for out number 1.
That was a major league pop-up right there.
Number 16, Tommy Lindgren.
Lindgren climbs in, catcher for the Honkers. 0 for 2 with a hot line drive out to Jack Johnson back in the 3rd. Defense has been impeccable tonight on both sides. Here's the pitch. It's a grounder. Lundberg over to make the play off the mound. The throw over in time. Heron with the stretch for the out. 2 quick outs. The pitching and defense has not been an issue, at least as of late, for the Merchants. It's been the offense. See what can get sparked here. A couple players left on the bench for the Merchants.
Eli, 7.
Anthony Andrews on the bench. Jonas Scholl replacing a player already. Van Rensen, the designated hitter. See what can happen here. Eli Sabat, leadoff man, shows bunt, takes the ball outside. 3 for 3 night for Eli Sabat. 3 singles and a pair of runs scored.
Made a couple nice defensive plays out in center field too. He's really having a complete game today.
Outside 2-0.
Some really good moments on the base paths as well.
Absolutely.
He's been chaotic out there today.
Honkers in their green and white caps, light green tops and white pants. Merchants in their black tops, white pants, and black and blue hats. As the count quickly runs to 3-0, Vane might be reaching the end of his rope here. High pitch count. Up to 95 pitches. 3-0, here's the pitch. Low and away, ball 4. 4-pitch walk with 2 away will bring up.
Now batting number 6, Hiroaki Yanakura.
Yona Kura climbs in, second baseman, 1 for 2 with a hit by pitch and a run scored.
You talked about Van Rensen getting ready for the 9th inning here. You got kind of wonder what kind of leash Ryder has here as he's 95 pitches in the 8th. With a number of pickoff attempts thrown in too. So.
Because those pickoff attempts add something to your arm, that's for sure.
Especially with his pickoff. There goes another one.
And I'll tell you, he might just not throw another pitch. He might try to get this runner at first if it's the last thing he does. I do not know how stretched out Van Rensen is. I have no idea what his pitch limit is. That ball fouled away. I know Jack Fenton was out warming up a bit. He might have a chance to come in as well, but I agree. The leash can't be that long. 3 runs in 2 innings is not an insurmountable lead, but if you give up a couple more here, it starts to get into that territory. 0-1 from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Bounces in. 98 pitches.
All he needs is one more good one. That's all we're looking for here.
Out of any kind ends the frame. From the stretch. 1-1 upstairs. 2-1.
Dig down deep, finish the platter, you're done.
99 pitches. This will be number 100. 59 strikes.
Oh.
And a move to first, nothing doing. Still had plenty of velo in his arm.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I feel like the pickoff attempts might even be coming in a little bit hotter than some of the actual pitches.
And it's the longer distance. Ground ball. That's going to be through the right side for a base hit. Barber gloves it. No play, though. And a single to second base. 2 on. Barber can't help but make good defensive plays.
First base.
And out comes Harold Pyatt. We'll have a pitching change. In comes Aiden Van Rinsen, the DH. Merchants burn their DH. We'll be back with 2 away on the top of the. Welcome back. Aiden Van Rinsum pitching for the Merchants. Designated hitter for Everett. 2 on and 2 away for the Honkers. Here's the pitch. It's a ball low, says the home plate umpire. Abel Gonzalez, 1 for 3 with a single. Josh Berry not happy with that call. It looks like a strike in the knees. Hayden Matre on deck. Here's the 1-0, down low, ball gets away. He's got a chance at third. The throw down, not in time. Both runners advancing. Wild pitch advances both runners. 2-0. And a big moment here for the Merchants if they want a chance in this ball game. Here's the pitch. It's a well-hit ball right field on the run, and the catch made in right field. Alberghini erases the threat. Good play in right field, and that will retire the side. Merchants looking for 3 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Welcome back. Braden Lenberg leading off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Merchant seeing at least 3 in the next 6 outs to extend the ballgame. They'll face new pitcher Shane Vaught. First pitch outside, 1-0. Vaught, 1 appearance on the season. It was in relief. 4 innings pitched. He gave up 4 runs, all earned. It's called strike of the knees. 4 runs all earned on 4 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, an 0-1 record, and a 9.00 ERA.
All I'm seeing here is that he's given up 4 runs in the past. And how many do the Merchants need right now?
They only need 3. Good point.
I'll take 4.
1-1 is a slow chopper past Vogt.
That might work.
Tough play. Yonakira in time. No way.
No.
Holy smokes.
Oh, that was not the right call.
That was a bad call.
Corey Hackless arguing. I can't believe that call.
Oh, man. That's a base runner you have to have.
That's how you gotta have that run.
Oh. And I know I'm 150 feet away from that play, but he beat that by a full step.
Usually Harold goes out there and starts yelling at the umpire. Usually he's not going out to it. Just not seeing it. Wow.
Tough out number 1.
Over here, I saw you.
Aaron Barber climbs in 0 for 3 with a fielder's choice.
That's a tough out. It's really hard to have that strip from when you need 3 runs here late in the game. That's especially as the leadoff hitter. That's one you really want to have on.
That's a dream start against a relief pitcher if you can make that happen. But anyways, Merchants will look to make things happen with Aaron Barber. 1-0, well hit ball, but right at Matre, who makes the play in left for out number 2. 0 for 4 night for for Aaron Barber. Will Heron climbs in with 2 away quickly.
Now batting number 37, Will Heron.
Tough one to swallow, absolutely.
Maybe we can get a little 2-out magic here going before we get to the 9th inning. At least get 1 or 2 of them back, so it's a little bit less daunting of a task when you get to the 9th inning.
Heron looking to bring Aiden Van Rensen to the plate. DH turned pitcher. Here's the pitch. Low and away. Tough night for the umpire crew tonight. All the way around. Wouldn't say it's been slanted one way or the other necessarily, but just some tough ones. 1-0 is a well-hit ball up the middle, nearly taking Vought's head off on the way to center field for a base hit. And base runners, anyway, we'll take them any way we can get them at this point.
The ball was shot right back where it came from. Oh, I'd like to know the exit velocity on that ball. That ball was absolutely scorched up the middle.
If we were in Redmond, they've got TrackMan. You get all those stats.
Little StatCast?
Yeah, you got to ask for it. It's over on the other side of the broadcast booth.
There'd
but
be no reason to never ask for
you
it.
always have to ask. Absolutely.
I'm a math major, right? I didn't go down the communication side.
Yeah.
I need to know all the numbers.
Absolutely.
It's my sweet spot.
Maybe next season we talk the ownership into getting us a TrackMan. Get some stats up here. 0-1 on Van Rensen.
I need to know how fast every pitch is coming in.
Slow late hack, fouls it off. 0-2. I have thought about buying one of those pocket radar guns. It feels like it might be worth it to clock some guys.
Every single pitch, your right arm would probably get a little bit tired.
Yeah, you have to
around the 5th
set
inning.
up a mount or something for it.
Eventually, your arm's going to droop down. You'll be tracking how fast they walk back to the dugout.
Mm-hmm. 0-2. Swinger right back to first. Vaught, underhand, heave to first in time. Merchant strand a runner. We head to the top of the 9th inning, 3-0 Honkers. Welcome back. Hayden Matre, left fielder, leading off. Here in the top of the 9th inning, Merchants trail 3-0. Van Rinsum on the bump, looking to limit the damage as a swing and a miss. Matre 2 for 2 with the sacrifice fly, or rather 1 for 2 with the sacrifice fly and a pair of RBIs. He struck out in the 6th. Merchants back in action tomorrow night here in Everett Memorial Stadium and live on Everett Merchants YouTube channel. First pitch against the Fish Sticks at 7:05 p.m. Jacob will be back with us for that contest.
Excited to be back.
1-2 the count now.
What do you think the over/under is on how many that smells fishy jokes I make tomorrow?
Ooh, man, that's a tough line to set.
3.5?
I would take the over on that line,
Okay.
I think. Yeah. 1-2, well away, and down 2-0, or 2-2 rather. Cameron Padron on deck, followed by Paganelli. When the Merchants are up, it'll be Jonah Scholl, Gunnar Shotani, and Kai Alberghini. Swing and a miss!
Tell you what, the pitching is doing exactly what they need to be doing in these situations. Once you get down 3, you got to limit the damage and make sure that the lead doesn't grow any bigger, and that's exactly what they've done the last 6 or 7 innings.
Absolutely. Ball away. 1-0.
He's still bad.
2-0.
He's still bad for himself. Just that.
Call strike, 2-1. Big spot here for the Merchants.
I think the Merchants were due for one of those calls.
I would agree. That ball low and away. 3-1.
Tell you what, I'd have given up that strike call to have the lead out front at first base, though.
Absolutely. That is a fact that all of us can agree on. Barber over on the backhand. The throw at first base picked, and it is in time for the out.
Well, I tell
What a
you
play.
what, I was joking earlier that I was promised some infield defense, and that delivered in spades right there. That is a tough play as a second baseman to range towards the bag, make the play, and then throw to the other side. That is an impressive play.
Quick lineup change. Note, Jonas Scholl was replaced by Jordan Justice in left field. Back in seventh. We just are now seeing it now. 1-0 the counts on Paganelli as this ball fouled away. Jacob, we've mentioned this on the broadcast a few times, but the Merchants have a history in the last few years of having excellent defense at second base and hitting, for that matter. It's been perhaps the richest position for this team. We have several players who have gone on to independent professional baseball after the fact. They're almost always leading the team in on-base percentage, and defense is always sterling as well. Austin Houck, a good example of that, as was Patrick Chun. He also was a great second baseman for the Merchants. If either of them happen to see this bouncing around, it's great to have you. It was great to have you on the squad.
Second base is such a premium position too. Obviously, you talk about shortstop, catcher, center field is kind of the big three, but second base, I mean, just so many ranging plays. Part of every double play combination. That's such a valuable piece to have.
And Van Rinsum lets up the 2-out walk, runner on for Colby Homestall. It's so true. Middle infield is so valuable. And we are reminded of a great middle infielder, as you mentioned that, for the Everett Merchants, Cole Kramer, who is, I don't know if he's watching or his parents are watching. They often watched on his YouTube channel. Move to first base, and they got him. Merchants picked off a runner for the third time tonight. We head to the bottom of the ninth inning. Merchants looking for 3 to extend the game. Welcome back. Bottom of the 9th inning. Merchants last chance to make some noise here.
Now batting number 11, Jordan Justice.
Jordan Justice, the defensive replacements for Jonah Scholl. .333 batting average on the season, 1 walk and 2 doubles for Jordan Justice, looking to get something going here. This pitch is a big hack, swing and a miss.
You tell the Merchants still believe, even though they're 3 down. The prior to us hitting record on the mic here for the 9th inning, the dugout was getting pretty hyped here. They still believe they have a chance.
It was indeed. Both teams up on the rail. Here's the 0-1. It's a well-hit ball to right, but under it, Paganelli, and the catch made for out number 1. We mentioned a few former Merchants. Kason Taggart, another former Merchants, looking to be drafted in the MLB draft. Expect to be drafted somewhere between rounds 3 through 9. He played largely catcher for the Merchants, but also getting some work at first base and corner outfield at college. Signed with Washington State University, but we will see what his path is. We're rooting for Kason Taggart the rest of his baseball career. This pitch well away to Gunnar Shotani.
Tell you what, it's always easy to root for the Cougs, you know.
It is indeed, yes.
if he goes pro, we'll root for him regardless, but can't go wrong with Wazoo.
And the Merchants, or rather the Cougs, need some bats, that's for sure. The 1-0, called strike. Kai Alberghini up next. Jack Johnston in the hole should it be needed. 2 outs left for the Merchants to make some noise. Vaught delivers. Check swing, did he go? They said he did, and man, that wasn't close. Maybe it was close. I don't think he went.
That kind of night, huh?
1-2. Well hit ball to left field. It doesn't matter. Base hit.
There you go. That's how you spark a rally. You need base runners. That's how you get this thing started.
Kai Alberghini.
Alberghini went for 3 tonight, struck out, grounded out to the first baseman, and singled back in the 7th. Merchants, no runs on 7 hits, no errors. Honkers, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. So, clean defensive game. Vaught comes home. It's low and away. Bounces up. Wild pitch. Runner heads to second base.
Catcher did a pretty good job of fielding that cleanly. I thought maybe for a second there he had a shot, but too much speed on the base paths, no throw over.
I thought he had a chance, too.
Ball might have bounced a little bit higher than I initially thought.
Wild pitcher races the double play. Mostly.
We hope it erases the double play.
Vaught comes home. Alberghini takes the pitch low.
Any traditional double play has been wiped.
It takes out the forced double play. 18 pitches, 12 for strikes, and a quick mound visit between Lindgren and Vaught.
So does the collegiate summer leagues, they don't have any rules on mound visits, do they?
They do.
They
5
do?
mound visits per
Okay.
game that don't involve a pitching change. And a pinch runner. Shotani replaced by Anthony Andrews.
Now running to Merchants number 10, Anthony Andrews.
Two 2-0. Here's the pitch. Base hit into left field. Anthony Andrews on his horse. The throw is into second base. Merchants pick up a run.
Not going to get blank tonight.
You should have 9 last.
Some outstanding at bats here in the 9th inning when the pressure's on. They're really looking for their pitch, and they're doing damage with them right now.
24, Jack Johnson.
This is the offensive approach the Merchants have wanted to have all night. Jack Johnson climbs in, and that's going to be a pinch hitter for the there's a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle, which is Jordan Piper. High chopper foul towards the Merchants dugout. 0-1.
We're a hit or two away from this thing getting pretty interesting here, so I'm excited to see if they can keep the line moving here, take the same approach as the guys that are hitting before them.
I'm intrigued by the pinch hitter for Zaya Aklis. Ackles 0 for 2, but a pair of walks. That ball fouled away too, 0 and 2. Jack Johnson 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Merchants going deep into their bench. Should he be needed, Piper would be the 13th position player used tonight. 0-2, moved to first, not in time.
Just to remind myself, do they do 2 pickoffs per batter here? Is that a rule they adopted?
Unlimited pickoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, unlimited pickoffs.
It sure seems like it tonight. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going crazy.
From the stretch, Vaught comes home. The 0-2 is a swinging foul ball over the head of the entire dugout of the Everett Merchants.
Tell you what, the defense for the Merchants has been great on the field today. Been in the dugout. There was quite a few misses right there.
It's been a little shaky, yeah.
Great effort to get that ball back in, though. Good.
Surprisingly, there's no personal protector for Harold Pyatt. Normally, he'll station someone directly towards home plate of him, and their only job is to keep foul balls from hitting him. And a called strike. Jack Johnson can't believe it. That was close. It's a brave take with 2 strikes, and he was not rewarded.
This is it. It's now or never.
Final out for the Merchants. Pinch hitter Jaden Piper climbs in. He hit the ball well in the scrimmage, in the inter-squad scrimmage on Saturday.
What do you think the approach is here, down 2 with 9 outs, or with 2 outs in the 9th inning and 1 on? You looking to keep the line moving here? Or are you looking to hit one as hard as you can over the fence?
That's a good question. The ball has not been flying tonight, so I think you gotta hope to keep the line moving. And pitch is a little bit low.
It's always tantalizing to look to park one in Souvenir City somewhere, you know?
Certainly is. One swing and tie it. 1-0. Vaught comes home. Well away. Good stop by Lindgren. 2-0. On deck is Braden Lindbergh, 2 for 4. Merchants 1 run on 8 hits, no errors. Honkers 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Tying run at the plate for the Merchants. Vaught comes home. The 2-0. Swing and a miss.
I like that approach, though. Get yourself in a hitter's count and see if you can do some damage with it.
As things stand, Ryder Vane in line for the loss. CJ Blowers in line for the win. Shane Vaught would earn a save if he closes this game out for a Honkers victory. Here's the 2-1. It's low and away. Bounces away. Wild pitch will advance a runner. 3-1.
Fortunately, that eliminates the force at second here, so not all infield groundouts now are going to lead to a potential game-ending out.
Harold Pyatt reminding his pinch hitter to be patient. Get a good pitch. Any ball out of the zone would put her man on. Here's a 3-1. Low and away. Tying run at first base. Braden Lindbergh represents the walk-off run. Tense moments here. Vaught struggling with his command. Nobody warming up in either pin. This is Shane Vaught's inning. And you'd imagine Van Rinsum's inning should the Merchants... If Van Rinsum's inning in the 10th, should the Merchants tie. Here's the pitch. It's called strike.
They had talked before the game about Van Rinsum potentially closing out this game. I don't think anybody anticipated that coming in 10 innings, but
Hey, you
at
never
this
know.
point, that would certainly be a welcome sight.
It would. 0-1. Ground ball up the middle. It's smothered. Not in time. Bases are loaded. Infield single for Braden Lindbergh. Aaron Barber can tie the game with a single and walk it off with a double.
That was a heck of an effort by the shortstop there, just not able to corral and get it to second base in time for the out.
Aaron Barber
Really makes
0 for
this
4.
interesting for the Merchants right here.
certainly does, and good speed on at first base too. And your shortstop Braden Lindbergh.
He's got a lefty up. He's going to see this guy.
Time called. Pitching change coming up for the Honkers. We'll be back for all the moves. Welcome back. Vaught still pitching. Just a mound visit with his manager.
Yeah, it'll have to be 2 walks.
Aaron Barber up. Infield shaded slightly towards the right side. Here's the pitch. It's away. Ball 1. Merchants never go quietly. Big moment for the short second baseman. Here's the 1-0. Well hit ball. Popped it up. Paganelli charging, and he makes the play in shallow right field for out number 3, and that will end the ballgame. Winning pitcher C.J. Blowers goes 3 scoreless innings, giving up 3 hits and 4 strikeouts. Vaught with the 2 outs, or 2 innings saved, and Ryder Vane taking the loss. Merchants fall to 4-2 on the PIL schedule, and into second place behind the Northwest Honkers. Merchants go quietly tonight, but had some opportunities late. Bats just weren't there tonight, Jacob.
Ultimately, they weren't. You know, the pitching, a little bit of a shaky start, but they did their job at the end of the game. It was, I believe, 7 scoreless innings to end this ball game. You never want to get the lead too far out in front for the other team, and the pitching did exactly what they needed to do. The offense made it interesting at the end, and ultimately just couldn't come up with a big hit. But a fun game nonetheless.
Absolutely. Tomorrow night's Fish Sticks come to Everett to face the Merchants as they look to get back on track and back on top of the PIL. First pitch at 7:05. We'll be live a few minutes before that, and likely an hour or so before if you want to watch batting practice in infield. Thank you, Jacob, for coming and joining us on the broadcast.
It was a pleasure. I had a great time. This is my first time officially doing a broadcast, and I look forward to coming back tomorrow and maybe telling some new stories.
Absolutely. Looking forward to having you on the call tomorrow. Merchants fall to the Northwest Honkers by a score of 3-1. Until next time, I'm Sean O'Connor for Jacob Bansberg. Have a good night.